All right. Welcome, everyone. So happy to have everyone here today. Thank you for taking time on a Friday afternoon at 6 o'clock to be able to take your happy hour and spend it with us here. I do want to recognize and thank Heather White and Amanda Jones. They are both on the session here today. They're going to be your facilitators. But before we get into that, what I am going to do is give you a second and tell you just a little bit about the Google Education Group of Louisiana. If you have not joined already, the website is listed on the screen. I'm sorry, I didn't even introduce myself. I am Wiley Brazier the fifth, okay? I am Wiley Brazier, and I am the Google Education Group leader for Louisiana. And again, we have that's our website that's there on the screen that you can connect to us. It is just bit.ly/GEG LA website. Just type just that into the into your little where you put your URL, your Omnibox, your search bar, all of that jazz, whatever you call it. If you could let us know where you are checking in from today in the chat, that would be amazing. And look at that. I see, oh, look at Miss Corville there. All right. I see a few different people from Denham Springs, from Baton Rouge. We've got Kansas here. And a variety of other places. This is a specific webinar that we target for the Google Education Group of Louisiana, but we are open to everyone because, as I tell people, yes, our kids in here in Louisiana, we may work with them now, but once they grow up, we don't know where they are going to go. It's just like in Kansas or in Argentina, anywhere, when your kids grow up, they may end up being here in Louisiana or vice versa, or who knows? We may have a location change ourselves, and then those kids will become ours. So we welcome everyone from everywhere. So thank you. I am actually located here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so we are going to go ahead and move forward. If you want to connect with the Google Education Group, again, if I'll drop that link into the chat as a matter of fact, so that you can check it out a little bit later and be able to jump into the Google Education Group that we have, and then the Facebook group, we're on Instagram, all of those things. But the Google Education Group and the Facebook group are really the ones that are really most active. All right. So again, today we have Heather White and Amanda Jones here. Oh, I have that wrong. I'm sorry. I put that incorrectly. Their names are wrong. So
that's okay. I will totally pretend to be Amanda.
I am so sorry, ladies, but we'll have that fixed by the end of this session, okay? But thank you. And today's session is all about tips and tricks with Google Slides. And Google Slides, I am super excited about this session. Ladies, if you want to just tell everyone a little bit about yourself, and then I will share the screen over to you to allow you to get started with the session. So just tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am a fifth grade math and science teacher in Denham Springs, Louisiana. I am a Google certified trainer, and I just really enjoy learning all sorts of things about EdTech and bringing it into the classroom and really helping others and facilitating, people really getting a good idea for what they can do and be authentic in all of that they are doing. And Amanda, you are muted.
Am I muted?
Nope, I just unmuted you. You're good.
Okay, sorry about that. And my name is Amanda Jones. I'm a teacher librarian at Watson, Louisiana. I'm the 2020 Louisiana School Librarian of the Year, 19-year educator. Heather's more techie than me, but she's getting me into the ed tech. Well, it's the googly. I'm techie, but just not with the googly, so I'm getting better with Google. So I'm learning and growing from Heather.
Awesome.
You're making me blush, sister. You're making me blush.
Awesome. So I am going to go ahead and stop sharing right now. So then that way you can go ahead and share.
All right. Let me get up our screen.
All right.
There we go. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. And Heather, I forgot to do that trick you told me, but I'm about to get it.
It's all right. Just leave it like it is. It's fine.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. So we call ourselves, when Heather and I talk, we say that we're giving our 2 cents on what we feel about different ed tech. And so today we're going to be talking about, like Wiley said, Google Slides. There's Heather and there's myself. So, and Heather and I always like to post our presentations on Twitter. So we'll post that and you can get our information a little bit later. Heather, do you see why is our font weird?
I don't know. It's fine.
Okay. So it's really bothering me that our font is weird right now, but 3 ways to open slides. So if you're not familiar with slides, I want to go ahead and show you how you just open a slide. You can go to what's called the waffle up in the corner of your screen. And if you see the little GIF that I have on screen, you see, there's the waffle. You can click that and go straight down to slides. Or Heather showed me a new trick. You can go to slides.google.com and it will take you to this website that it's showing right here, which will give you templates. And you can pick from templates, or you can start a blank document. Or if you're just ready to start a basic slide and you're just ready to go, you can just type in slides.new and a fresh screen will open up. Now, some of the basic features. If you're not familiar with slides, now I'm going to talk about basics and then Heather's just going to take it because Heather knows way more tips and tricks than I do. But once you open up, and I have an example slide here, that when you open it up, you have all of these tools at the top. Now, if you're somewhat familiar with PowerPoint, it's not going to look that different. I know I used PowerPoint for 15 years before I switched over to Google Slides, and I'm never looking back because I love Google Slides. Up here, you can add your title to whatever you're doing. There are different things up here, like you can pick a theme. And Heather's going to talk to you about how you can even you can download other like fancier templates from other websites. But if you want to stick with the regular basic, you can click a theme, come over on the side, pick a theme right here. You can choose how you want your slides to transition. You can change the background. You can change it to an image, a different color. You can apply it to the whole thing. Other basic features at the top, you've got, you can add comments at the top. So if I was working on this slide and I wanted to have Heather take a look at it, I could put a plus sign and type in Heather's name. And I could just assign that to Heather and say, hey, Heather, go take a look at this slide for me. I always actually really do that, Heather. Then you probably get all my notifications. Sorry about that.
No, I do. And that's how if you want me to double check something, by putting that comment there, since we're doing a lot of collaborative work right now, and we haven't really been with each other because they told us not to be with people. The only way for me to know, hey, she wants me to check that. Does the layout look right? Does it make sense? She'll put that in there, like, hey, does this work or does it not? What do I need to do? And then that is a really quick way for us to be able to communicate with one another instead of having to go like, hey, can you talk right now? Do you have your computer? So it allows us to work at our own speeds and our own times, but still be able to connect with one another and collaborate.
Yeah, so if you're collaborating, especially if you have students in a group and they can go in and they can add comments and answer each other. But there's some other features I'm going to show you on the next slide. So that's just basically at the top, that's your toolbar, and then on the left are going to be a display of all your different slides. Now, it's really bothering me, Heather, that my font is wrong at the top.
See, mine's not like that. I don't know why.
I don't know. Yeah, it's really bothering me. So I'm going to show you a few basics as far as adding images, shapes, audio, and video. Because even though I've used Google Slides for several years, a lot of these I didn't realize. Heather showed me some tricks the other day. So I'm going back to my example slide, and I'm going to go to the shapes. So first I'm going to talk about shapes. Now, up here at Insert, there's all sorts of things that you can add in. Word art, diagram, tables. I use shapes the most often because I'll use them, like I might put a circle and then I'll go in and put a picture inside the circle. You can go up here, where I'm at, shape. You can add all sorts of shapes. You can add arrows, whatever. Once you choose a shape, And this is just basic stuff still. It looks like this. Well, you can go up here and you can change the color fill. You can change the outline. You can change the thickness of the outline, different shapes. And you can even actually go in and you can have a dotted background or whatever you want to have. Something else I wanted to show you about is audio. If you want to add an audio file, you go and you click add audio. Now my computer's been a little laggy, so I went ahead and added one. But you would go in and you would add something that you already have in Drive. You would save something into your Google Drive. So I already have an example of an audio file right there. And over on the side, let me get rid of themes, format. So over on the side, you can choose if you want your audio to automatically start playing. When your slide starts, you can do loop audio. You can hide the actual icon while you're playing it. And so that would be your audio. You can do voice. You can record students' voices. You can record yourself playing. It'll automatically start talking. So that's one way to add audio files. Now, you can also add images. So if you go to insert and you add image, now the cool thing about adding images is that you can upload images that you already have on your computer. I upload straight from my Dropbox sometimes. You can go and search the web. So earlier I was looking for a picture of a book, and you select what you want to select and you can insert it straight into your slide, your slide. This something I wanted to show you is a lot of people don't realize is that say you want this to fit in here for some reason, but your circle is on top. Well, you can set the order. So what I like to do is I like to right click and set the order. So like if I brought this forward, I brought the circle all the way forward in front of the image, I can go to order, I can bring it all the way to the back, and now the other image is on top. Same with this one. If for some reason I wanted to put that right there, but I wanted the circle to show, I could click on the circle, I could click on order, and I could bring it forward. Well, I'm trying. Oh, I clicked on the book, sorry. Bring it forward, and it's not working.
Sometimes you have to do it a couple of times to like
tell
it who's boss.
Anyway, I'll send it back. Look, I'll send it backward one. There we go. You just have to play with it sometimes. So you can overlap shapes and pictures and images within a slide. Now,
I'm going to insert real quick. Another fun thing about these images, like these shapes that you're putting in, a lot of people put in a shape and then they try to put a text box over it, and you don't have to do that. If you double click inside of any of the drawed image, that you put in there, you can type in there. It becomes a text box. You don't have to go and do extra ones and a bunch of different layering.
Oh, and speaking of text box, let me show you. If you just wanted to insert a text box, you can insert a text box. You just drag where you want it to go, type what you want to do, and then you can go over here and you can bullet it, center it. If you wanted to add a link, you could highlight it, you could insert a link and hyperlink it. So all of that is in insert. Now, if you're familiar with any kind of presentation software, it's not that much different. You've got your inserts, you've got your formats, your slides, duplicate slides, change background. If you're unfamiliar, I suggest you just go in and play with it because playing with it is going to be the best way that you learn. That's what I did. I just wanted to start playing with it. Now, I do want to mention that you want to be careful when you're using photographs. Now, if you do an image search, like I did, where you go and you hit insert and you do an image and you do search the web, the ones that you search through Google are usually okay to post. But if you don't like what you find and you want to go outside and do your own searches to find something in particular, be very careful. I don't know if you can see this GIF, but once you go into Google Images, you want to make sure you click Tools. See how it's clicking Tools, and you go to Usage Rights, and you make sure you're using something that's labeled for reuse, or there are photo sites that already have plenty of stock photos that you can go and use. So be very careful especially if you're going to be posting something on the internet, like one of your slide decks, make sure you're using copyright free or labeled for reuse photographs. Same for music. There are plenty of music sites. Now, the cool thing about slides is that it automatically saves. So you're not constantly going to save as, and finding your location and saving it. It just automatically saves to your drive. I love that because I would always forget to save. Now, as far as sharing, go back to my example. Oh, I never showed how to do, I'm sorry, I forgot to show how to do a video. Let me go back to that real quick. I forgot to show my video example. When you want to insert a video into your slide, when you go to video, you can post your URL from YouTube straight into there. You can search YouTube for videos, or if you already have a video in your Google Drive, you can do that. And what I did, I already had a video in my Google or on my YouTube page. So I posted that straight in there. And then I can go to the side, I can click format, and I can pick how I want it to play back. Do I want it to autoplay when presenting? Do I want to mute it? Things like that. Sorry, I forgot to mention that before I moved on. Now, sharing with email. So once you have your slide created, and this is just an ugly example slide, but when you go up here to share, there's several ways you can share it, and there are several different permissions you can give it. So you can see that this slide deck I sent to Heather via email. So I shared it with Heather on email so that she could go and edit it. All right. Now, if you just want to share the link, you go back up here, and at the bottom it says get link. So you choose what type of link you want to share. Do you want to share where people can only view your slide deck? Do you want to let them comment, or do you want to give them full editing access? Say I just want to share this as a view option because I want people to view it, but I don't want them to be able to go in and like type anything and rearrange my slides. So I click viewer, and I copy that link, and that link is ready, and now I can go and insert it into a document or whatever I want to do with that link.
Something important to point out, so click on the share again, just real quick.
Yes.
The way that you see her share show up is a new update that Google has rolled out within the last few weeks. On a lot of EDU accounts, if you have like a school domain, that has maybe not been pushed through to you yet, and so your share may look a little different. The same content, the same options are still there, but it's more blocky, I guess. This is a little bit rounder and has, I think a little bit easier to work with. So just know that if you go and share and it doesn't look like the one that you just saw, you're not doing it wrong. It's just that is what your domain is set for right now.
Yeah, I did notice that it did look a little different. Oh, and downloading. So let me show you. So I didn't realize this until about 3 weeks ago, and I've been using slides for a couple of years. So the new thing, at least in the library world, is that people have been making email signature cards. And I was like, how are they do that? Or they're making Bitmoji scenes to insert in Google Classroom. The way they're doing that is they're just making a slide in Google Slides. So I went to my, I'll show you my example. So what I did was I went in and I got all of these images. These are just images, like if I had a badge, I stuck it there. If I needed an image, I just posted it in there. So all of these are images. I went in and added a text box and I typed. So my email signature card is ready. I am done. I'm ready for it. So if you go up to file, there's so many different ways that you can download these things. So I can actually go and download this as a PowerPoint, a PDF, whatever. I chose to download it as a JPEG. So now I have this, in fact, I'll show you. I have this saved as a picture like this that I was able to go in and insert directly into my email as an image. Another thing you can do is if you're, a lot of people like different Zoom backgrounds, like the one that we have behind us was made on a Google slide. And the one that you're looking at on screen right here, the Flipgrid one, Heather and I did a webinar on Flipgrid the other day, and I simply just posted these stickers. I chose background up here at the top, made a plaid background. I went up here to file, and I downloaded it as a JPEG, and I uploaded that image straight into Zoom. So if you're into doing those for distance learning and you want to create your own backgrounds, you can do that also. Now, let's see. Heather, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. And then I'm gonna turn it over to the whiz.
All right, let's do this. The whiz. Okay.
I stopped my share for you.
Okay, I'm just looking for my, for some reason I have 10,000 things opened on my computer and.
It's okay. I am also a self-professed tab hoarder, so take your time, Heather.
I'm like, I got 9 things to choose from up here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a tour of Google Slides. And I may go over a couple of things that Amanda already did. And if I repeat, I apologize, but I just want to make sure that I do cover all of the things. And again, if I go over something too quickly or I'm not clear, please type that in the chat box and Amanda will pipe in and tell me to do something, which is like her favorite thing in the world to do. She likes to order me around. So give her a reason to, please. Okay. So she showed you how to get to Google Slides. And this is just a plain blank one, nothing special about it. You know, I can come in and I can do all of the things that I want to do with this. So there's lots of features that you can come in here and use. And a lot of people aren't necessarily, know about these things. So the first thing I want to talk about is when you want to add new slides. Okay. So if you come over here and you use this little drop down arrow, you will see that you have a bunch of different slides right here that have different formats. A lot of times people want to go ahead and click on blank as opposed to using the ones that have specific, let's say a title and a body. Nothing wrong with that, but something that I've just recently learned. For those people who have a visual impairment and are using a screen reader, if you're not using text box that are specifically set to be your title or your subheading or your content, then it can kind of mess with the way that the screen reader interprets those things. That is, an accessibility issue. So when you can, just be mindful of that. Now, if I have this slide and I don't like the way that it's set up, instead of going in and deleting things, if I come over here to my layout button, I can change and apply a different layout to any of these. So I can choose from the layout. I don't necessarily have to come in and change up and delete and restart with everything. I can come and choose that from right there. So that definitely, can kind of make it a little bit easier for you. Just going through the file menu real quick. All right, so on the new, I can start from a new presentation or a template, but if I click on this, it will go ahead and open up a new document for me if I needed to type something and then copy and paste it over. So that is just something that lets you just sort of, streamlines your process real quick. Oops, wrong one. I can import slides from another presentation that I've done. So if I click on import, my Google Drive is going to open and I could upload, let's say that I had a PowerPoint presentation that I wanted to pull some slides from. You can do that as well. You can very easily convert over any PowerPoint presentation to a Google file. All you do is you would go to the file menu and then say save as Google Files. If I wanted to, let's say, let's take a look at, merge cubes. Why not? So I'm going to open that. And when I decide to import slides, it will go through. And I can choose the specific slides that I wish to use. I don't have to use them all. I can just click on the ones that I want. So let's say I want this one and I want this one, and then I can import slides. And what it will do is it will insert those 2 slides right there for me. And I did not have to actually leave this window, open something else, copy and paste. And you can copy and paste them over. That's not an issue. But again, just to make things a little bit quicker. Other things that are kind of cool here, so you can make a copy of your entire presentation. Let's say that you had a great presentation, you wanted to share it out with friends, but you didn't want them to mess it up. Make a copy, send the copy to them, you have your original. She already talked about your download menu options.
Heather, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
So we have a question in the chat. Will you have the same issue with assistive technology if you use a master slide?
I don't know the answer to that. That's a great question. I would think, if you use master slide and you set up all of the different things, like if you go in and you create it and you're saying that, okay, hang on. Let me pull up the master slide here. So here's your master. So your very first master here, you've got all of this where this is your title and then all of your different levels. So when you come here and you're looking, this is usually like your title. So you can see right here, you can see the different things that it's coming in and telling you. So even if you go in and you kind of change up your fonts or you create new masters, as long as you are using that text box, like if you wanted to create a brand new type of master, copy and paste over like your section header or your title, and I think it would be okay. But don't quote me on this. Like I said, this is something I just learned about, so I'm not well versed in it, but I wanted to throw it out there because I think that's something that, especially with lots of people going more digital, because of all that's going around, that we need to be very aware of our students that need these accommodations and may have disabilities that require them to use these sort of features. Does that answer that question okay? Okay. If not, let me know. I can always search and figure that out if you would like me to. All right, where was I? Okay, so again, emails attachment, make available offline. So what that means is you can go ahead and set your presentation to be available offline. That way, if you do not have internet access, you can still go in and work on it. And the next time that you connect to internet access, it will update it to your drive. That's really nice. Let's say you're going to be stuck in a car for a while and you want to work on some things, but you don't want to drain your hotspot time or whatever you have, or maybe you just don't have really good internet connection where you're driving. If you've ever driven up 49, you know what I mean. So that kind of really, makes it really beneficial for those that need to do that. But also it makes it very beneficial if you have students who, take a device home, but they may not have great internet access at home. They can set all of their stuff available to make available offline, and they can still work on things that they may need to for school. And then when they come back to school the next day, or they have a reliable internet connection, it will go ahead and update it to the Google Drive for them. Version history. So if you have somebody who has messed with your original, or, you've got kids and they're like, oh my gosh, I've lost everything, I don't know where it went. You open your version history and you can name specific versions if you want to. Okay, so here's my current version. If I click here, here is the version that I had before I went and imported those other slides. If I need to, I can revert back to this and erase all of the changes that had been made. And then this one right here is when I first started it. Notice there's nothing else there. So with these version histories, I can go in and notice that I'm seeing the number of edits that have been made. I can look at the specific edits if I want to. So it's going to show me what was done. If I had been working collaboratively with someone, it would even show me their name and show me that this person made this edit at this time. See, I'm the only one that's been working on this, so you only see my name right there. Okay, going back down our file menu. You can rename this by doing this, or you can just click back up here and rename it. You can move it, meaning if it's in one folder in your drive, you can put it in a different folder in your drive. Adding a shortcut to a drive, especially if it's something that you don't necessarily own and it's in a shared with me, if you put a shortcut into your drive, you can easily just double click on it right there to get to it. You can trash it. I'm going to skip over publish to the web for just a minute. Okay, so document details just tells you who owns it, when was it modified, created, and where is it located. Language, so I can set the language that I'm going to be typing in. Notice this is my language, but if I were typing in something else, I could set it to what I was, and that way when it goes to do like spell check and those sorts of things, it's recognizing that native language. Page setup. Now this right here is where lots of people, if you want to create, especially people that are wanting to create, the new Bitmoji headers or Twitter headers or, anything, this is where you would come in and you would change up your page size. This also is like if you wanted to create worksheets or anything of that and you need to make this paper size. You can come here. here are your standard options that you've got to choose from. But if you come down to custom, this is where you can input the different sizes. And if you use this drop-down menu, notice you can do it in inches, centimeters, points, or pixels. When you're doing like headers and things, a lot of times you are told that measurement in pixels. So this is how you would change that up.
Heather.
Yeah.
So say you're on an iPad or
Uh-huh.
a phone and you're not on a laptop. Would you be able to have the keyboard for language set up and the pixels and all the different things you just showed, or do you have to do that on a laptop?
You should have, if you have, okay, so if you're using your iPad or your phone and you are going through the web, you should see it exactly like this. If you're using it as an app, let me see. Because I don't really build things in the app. So let me copy.
Yeah, I know that because I prefer to use the laptop, because anytime I try to personally use the app on an iPad or phone, I mess everything up.
Well, it's just, to me, I need a keyboard. I mean, typing like this, my thumbs are too fat. I have too many typos. I need a keyboard. Okay.
Boo on building in the app.
Right. So when you're looking at here, I don't see as many options, and I'm sure they're somewhere. I just don't know where they would be located. At the bottom, you've got all your different slide things that you know, the different types of slides that you can see. Do not see, let's see, when you click things, you get very basic things. I don't see the language applications, but if you were to open it in a web browser on your device, you should see all of these. So I did not see all of the special things. Print settings in preview. This is just, you know, if you want to print it out, if you want to do handouts, you know, kind of like you can do in PowerPoint where you just hand out, you know, 9 slides per page. You can choose the way that you want that set up. If you have like a very colorful background, which I don't, but you could say hide the background, then that way it's not printing and using a lot of ink. And you can also download this as a PDF and store it or print it in other ways that way.
Heather, can you mention, because I know that those of us that like to present, the old way of doing things is that we would print out packets like that with all the slides.
Right.
Can you tell them about how just to use the link into a QR code? Just for them to scan?
Like take this and make a QR code out of it?
Like just show them that like you don't have to actually have the physical handout. You can have a QR code on your home screen that just...
Right. So of the presentation or of a handout?
Well, that's what I call a handout, but of the whole presentation.
Oh. Well, yeah, you would just copy this URL right here and find a QR code generator.
Right. I love it.
And then put your website in there. You know, whether you can choose what it is or whatnot. You hit enter. And if you have a mobile device and you scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now, the presentation that I'm working in should pop up. Now, you may not have editing rights, but yeah, that's all you have to do. And then to get this, you just download it. I don't need to sign up or whatever. It's fine.
The reason I wanted to mention that, because I know like at old school presentations, everybody would be gathering up all these packets of these printouts. But like now, if you just save your link on the title as a QR code, you hold up your camera of your phone, boom, you've got the presentation straight on your phone.
Yeah, no, right here is what you would do. And then you would just take this, you know, download it or whatnot. And I would come back over right here and I'm going to come to this slide right here. So file, like insert image. I'm going to upload it from my computer because that's where it downloaded to, and it should be in my downloads right here. There you go. That's all you have to do in order to share your presentation, as you know, as far as QR codes go. And you can move it around. You can, you know, resize it, do what you need to. I see that we have 2 friends that have come into the presentation and are now watching what, you know, everything that I do. And if you notice, if you're in there and I'm clicking around, you should see my name as I click around onto the different things.
And somebody had asked, like, would you be able to get a link that would force someone to make a copy? So say they scan your presentation.
Yes, you can. Okay. There are lots of little tips and tricks as far as editing your URL so that it appears in different ways. So if you pay attention up here, it goes da 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 da, and then here's like the ID for my my presentation, and then that /. So right where it starts edit, okay, I'm just gonna go to the first one. Back out of that, delete it. Type in the word copy, hit enter. And now if I take that URL and make that a QR code, anytime somebody scans it, this is what they will see. They will be forced to make a copy of your presentation. That kind of helps get rid of all of those pesky asking for editing permissions. You know, can I have permissions to whatever? So this is what I typically do. Now there's another way to do it. If you don't want them to see the, you know, make a copy thing, but it still works the same way. Back it up, type template/preview. I think if that's the correct order. Sometimes I do it out of order. We're going to see. Boom. So now they're viewing your presentation as a template. They can go through, they can look at it, they can, you know, read it. If they want a copy of it, if they click on use template, they get a copy of that. It's not your original. One thing that I like to do when I'm doing these webinars especially is I type present at the end and I put this into present mode, because I do a lot of back and forth up here. And when you put it into full on present mode, it makes it hard to see this because it hides all that. So when I do the present mode in that way, I can still click it back and forth in between all of the tabs that I open up, and it makes my navigation easy instead of me having to exit out of present mode and then go back in, so on and so forth. So that's kind of a cool little way to do that. All right, so let me back out of there, back out of that one. Okay, so did that answer that question?
Yep.
All right. I'm seeing full of all sorts of just weird knowledge, but it works. Okay, last thing in the file menu that I want to show you, especially when you're sharing things out with kiddos, and this comes in real handy with these interactive classrooms that people are making where they're building these scenes and they're making things links. When you send it out to your students and they get all of this, then they kind of have to click through these things and then click on things to find links. And it's, you know, not that it's a bad thing, but here's a way to make it easier. If you come to File and you come to Publish to the Web, you will be given two options. You can link it or you can embed it. So if you have a website and you want to embed your presentations where people can just kind of look through your presentation right there on your website without having to download anything, you would get this code right here. Otherwise, you would do link. It sets itself to auto advance every 3 seconds. You can change that. You can start slideshow, restart slideshow, however you want to do it. But when you click publish, it'll say, are you sure you want to publish this? Yes, I do. Here is your new link. So, and you can share it out different ways. So if I copy and I paste this into here, what they're now seeing is only the slides. They're not seeing the editing of anything. They can't go to the left and delete things out, and they're like, oh, Miss White accidentally deleted it, so now I can't access this, blah, 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 blah. Everything's right here. And everything that would have links is clickable. This is because this is all they need. They don't need to see how you built everything on the left-hand side. They just need to see this. Another beautiful thing about this, so make sure you're sitting down for this. If you go and you change your original, you do not have to republish. So what will happen is, it's going to make me a liar. Maybe I need to refresh this. Boom. You don't have to republish it. As long as they open their link again or refresh it, that same link is attached to that presentation, and every edit that you make is automatically there when they click on the link. All right, so that's your file menu. Boop, 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 boop. Changing your theme and your font. She showed you how you can do different themes, and you can come down here and you can click and change, the themes, however you wish to make it look. They're limited themes right here. You can import new themes. I'm going to show you in a minute where you can go get some really fun ones and use those. And if you want to change up your fonts, you just kind of click here and you come right here. One of the big complaints is, oh, I can't use all my fun cutesy wootsy fonts. And, you won't see a whole lot here. But if you click on more fonts, Google has over 800 fonts. And all you have to do is go and click on them, and it will add it to your font list. You can sort it based off of different scripts, the different types of fonts they are. So if you're looking for something that's nice and bold for a display, once you click it, it goes into your list. So then if I wanted to come and change this one to be the bangers, I now have access to it and it's right there. So again, finding your different fonts, just go to more fonts. You can change your font size. This is new. It didn't used to have your plus and minus. So now you can kind of beef it up a little bit doing that, or you can actually come in and, type in the number that you want it to be, hit enter, and you have it right there. Okay, our edit menu, this is your basic edit menu, undo, redo, and if you notice, it does give you shortcuts. So if you're a keyboard shortcut person, you can do that. Find and replace, if you've never used find and replace, let's say that I'm looking for a specific word, font. Notice how it just highlighted that, and I want to change it with type style. Okay, and I can do it to do all of them. I want it to replace all of, you telling me that's not even a real word? Okay, that works. Boom. So what it would do is it would go through my presentation and it would change every instance of the word font to type style. Or I could go one by one just by kind of going to the next one, the next one, and the next one. Just a little fun fact right there. Okay, view, you can put it into present mode. Motion is how you can change your transition. So it's another way of doing it. You had transitions up here, but motion is another thing. So slide transition, there's not a ton of options for transitions right here. This is really all you get. And then if you want to animate specific objects, this is how you would come in and do that animation. And you can choose to do it by word, by line, by paragraph. You can slow down or speed up the different ones that you want, however you want to do it. And then it'll show you, hey, if I did that, what it would look like. And that was really quick. So you didn't even get to see that.
Heather.
Yes.
So just to clarify, so anytime you're making any kind of changes to any of your slides and you've already published it somewhere else, it just automatically.
Yeah, it updates it.
Okay.
It updates it. You may have to refresh, if you're open in it, it needs to gather the new information. But yeah, once you've published it, even if you've embedded it on a website,
and there's no reason and there's no need to change the URL, the link, or anything. It just automatically.
Right. Okay. Because look, even if I come here back to publish to the web, it's already published. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not changing my links. I can stop publishing it, but there is no republish it. It's just going to do it automatically. If I don't want it published anymore, I can stop.
And quick question that came into the chat. When you went through and showed the ability to change a slide but not change the URL or link, they wanted you to show that one more time.
Change the slide but not.
I think they're meaning when you put the copy and then also the template is what I think they mean.
Okay, sure. All right, so again, your URL, all of them are going to start docs.google.com, okay? Then notice I've got presentation, display, the D, I'm not sure what the D stands for, but anywho. This right here is sort of your code to your specific document, all right? Once you get past this /, you will usually see edit because you are in editing mode and it's yours, you own it. If you want to force a copy, you change edit to copy, hit enter, and then this is the link that you would share. Now you can take this link if you do, you know, like Bitly or whatever, and you want to, you know, do a custom short link, you can do that. That, you know, that is absolutely possible to do. You don't have to share out a really long one. So a lot of times when I do, you know, presentations and stuff, I will have a Bitly and I will have a QR code. And usually my Bitly will be, you know, a forced copy or the template. Now, close. Okay. Your other option is template/preview. When you do that, they're able to see it, okay? And if they click on use template, what's gonna happen is it's gonna make a copy for them. Okay, so if I went and looked in my Google Drive, I now have 2 of these because there's my original and here's my template that I just copied, okay? I can quickly take this, not this one, go away. I just totally deleted my presentation, didn't I?
That's okay. Restore it from your
I am. I'll restore it in a minute. I have the copy of it that I just made right here. We'll just use it. It doesn't matter. Anywho, so what I can do again is I can come right here and then I can put this into preview mode and it puts it in preview. And that's how I had this one, you know, so that I could easily see all of my tabs up here. If I put this into regular presentation mode, which there are some cool things about doing it that way, but if I come here and I put this into regular presentation mode, it takes over my entire screen. So if all I'm doing is showing a presentation, then I would probably do this. But because I'm doing a webinar where I want to be able to go different places and show different things, I don't want to have to back out of presentation mode and then go back into presentation mode over and over again. Okay, did that clarify that?
Yes, and can you show how to restore, what they were talking about, how to restore something?
Sure, that is your file, and that's your version history. So if you go to your version history and you go to see version history, you will see the different version histories that I have. So this is the one that I've been working in. This is the one that I had earlier today before I, you know, put any changes into it before the presentation. And this is when I had started it and there was nothing there. And if I want to, let's say I want to restore this one back to its beginning, all I do is click on restore this version. And it's like your current document's going to revert to this version, which means any changes that have been made that are in my new one will be gone, which is fine. I don't necessarily need all of the little things that I had put in there.
Can you restore copies, slides that you delete, or can you only restore versions?
Well, if you go and restore a version, it's going to bring back those slides. Now, if you accidentally delete a slide, just undo and it'll bring it right back.
What if you delete an entire presentation?
Then it goes into your
trash
right here, and you just go hunt it down based off of the name of it. And it was like, what, Google? If I go and I type in here, I got a lot in my trash. So I got this. Here's the other one that I just deleted right here. So I can just right click, you know, delete, or take it, drag it, drop it back into my drive. And if I click here, I have that right there. Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So speaker notes. So down here, you can add speaker notes. And I have some little notes like right here. When we're talking about audio, I'm going to show you just a couple of free websites that you can use to record your audio because it doesn't have like a recorder built into Google Slides. That is kind of, you know, a nice thing to have. And the cool thing about that is if you do add some speaker notes, you can put this into presenter view. So a lot of people, when they come up here, they just click present. They don't really pay attention to this little down arrow. If I put this into presenter view, I don't know if you can see. Can you see this that I'm, you know, like my speaker notes thing?
I don't see your speaker notes.
No. Okay. So there's a little box that pops up. You just see Explore tab.
Yep.
Okay. There's a little box that pops up and it shows you how long you've been talking. It shows you, you know, the previous slide, the next slide, and any notes that you've put on there. But then it also has audience tools. So you can have a Q&A in your presentation.
You might have to double check sometimes when you go into present mode, it
Yeah.
might pop up behind there.
Right. So here is like your Q&A. I can start a new Q&A, and audience could be, you know, asking questions. I can also bring up my notes by clicking here. And again, it's probably, you know, because I'm only sharing one window, you're not able to see that. I have a pointer. So if I need to point at specific things. And closed captions. I love this. I don't know. Can you tell me you can see my closed captions?
Yes, I can see your closed captions.
Is this not phenomenal? I use this in the classroom all the time when I'm doing presentations. I kind of take over the screens of everybody, or if I have shared my presentation with them in the classroom, I show them how to turn on the captioning. Lots of kids like to read what I'm saying, and I think it's wonderful practice for them to, you know, reading practice and stuff, but I just think that's really cool.
And can it translate?
Okay, so not in Google, but there is another one that sounds like Power, and anyway, does. Hopefully Google will put this option in, but you can change where you want your captions to show and your text size, you know, whether it's small so that you have more on there, or really large for those people in the back.
And show point at the bottom, put your arrow over the captions just to show right there. Okay.
Right there.
Yep.
So that's off, that's on. And it says English. It says English only. So hopefully they will do it where it can translate into another language. That would be phenomenal, especially for our English language learners. We could share, you know, make it very accessible for them in the classroom. That option is just not there right now. I can also skip to different slides from this little menu.
And the captioning option is only when it's in presenter mode, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. View. Okay, so here's your master. If you ever need to change anything in your master, so that was view, and you go to master. So let's say I wanted to change the font, every one. Let's go with Happy Monkey because it's a fun font. Bold it if I want to, make it a little bigger. Okay, so now if I close this out, it has changed that font that was in a title or heading to the new one right there, Happy Monkey. You can go in and add backgrounds here. You can add images, you know, whatever you want to do with that. As far as, you know, if you want something to be stuck on there. When I do a lot of presentations, you know, I'll put like Google Trainer on there and it's embedded in the background so it can't be taken off. If you have something that you don't want your kids to be able to move around and you want it to like be sort of embedded in there, this is one way of doing it. If you put it in your master, then it kind of goes in there as an image that they cannot get rid of. Okay. Zoom, it goes to fit typically, but you can make it smaller, and you can make it larger depending on what, you know, you're working with, but typically I stick with fit. You can also turn off speaker notes. So if you don't want to look at speaker notes, you know, that's valuable real estate that you could be using down there. But if the kids don't like looking at it and there's nothing down there, then they don't necessarily need to have that and they can turn that off. All right, so your insert, again, she went through images, text boxes, audio. Let me talk about this one. Speaker notes, videos. There we are. So in your insert menu, where you have audio, which is a great option, but notice it doesn't let you record directly in there. You need to have your audio stored somewhere on your computer. There are 2 sites down here that are really good for that. So if I go to Vocaroo, and what I can do is, all I do is click here, allow my microphone. And right now what I'm trying to do is demonstrate how we can add audio to Google Slides. Okay, so then I just save and share. I can do it through QR code. I can embed it. What I want to do right now is I want to download it. So here is my download. go to my Google Drive, drag and drop. Notice it will upload. So now, the Zoom menu keeps getting in my way. Okay. Now what I can do is if I come here and I insert my audio, just like Amanda showed earlier, I can come in and I can find this and put it in right there. Microphone. And right now what I'm trying to do is demonstrate how we can add audio to Google. So I can loop it. I can turn the volume up or down, start playing on clicker automatically. So that would be when you are in present mode. So when you're in present mode, either you have to click on it to make it play, or if you do automatically, when they go to the next slide, it would play. But again, I did put 2 down here. Vocaroo is one. And then online voice recorder is another one. That they're quick, they're easy, they're free. You don't have to create an account. You download straight to your computer, and then you can just drag and drop where you need it to go and utilize those into your slides.
I didn't know that.
You're welcome.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So you've got all your different shapes, again, drawing different things. One thing that a lot of people don't know about is this rounded rectangle. I love me a good rounded rectangle. There's this little yellow thingy right here. And when you pull on that yellow thingy, it changes how rounded it is. So if you ever see that on a shape, what that does is it allows you to sort of change up the shape right there. So if you're looking to make something, you know, really look like a button of some kind, let's say you're working on creating different buttons, click here, that kind of stuff. That's really where they get that one.
I like it when it does speaker bubbles like that, because you can change, you can move the little arrow in the little
absolutely.
bubbles.
And they have that too, the call outs. So this, notice it's right here. So if you need to drag that and make it come real far out or back in, coming a different way, you know, that's what that little yellow diamond shaped square, whatever it is right now, does for you. Insert table. So if I have any math teachers in here, I'm about to make your world. Okay. Seriously, this was the best thing I ever figured out. Fractions. Ugh. All right. So insert yourself a little table, drag it over here, and I want 1/2. And I want it to be straight up and down. I don't want it being on the slashy side of things, because that makes it really hard to do computation when I do that. Then I can come in here and I can center it up, and I can tell it to put my text in the center of the box. Come on, there we go. And then, not format options, I can also click right here and I can turn on how I want my lines to be. So I can get rid of all of them, or I can turn on some of them. So if I do this, let me come to line and I'm going to say transparent. So now I don't see my one little line, but if I click right there and I click on that, boom. Now I have a beautiful fraction box, and all I have to do is duplicate this all over the place and then just come in and change the numbers. It makes life so much simpler, and everything is just happy and looks nice and neat. And it may not make you as happy as it made me, but that was a game changer. You can insert charts. So you can insert a specific type of chart, Here you go. And to edit it, what you would do is you're going to open your source. Okay. This goes for all charts, and it opens up in a Google sheet that has already been formatted for you. And you come in and you can change all of the different things that you need to be right here, and then it will change beautifully in here for you as well. So nice, neat inserting of charts. Now, if you already have one built in a Google Sheet, you can pull it in. Diagrams, you have a bunch of different diagrams you can choose from. And then from those diagrams, you have some options. You can go up to 5 steps, and then you can also change up your colors and then insert it directly into your page right there. So you don't have to go through the trouble of making these and turning them. They are doing it for you. Word art. is exactly what it is. It just makes it nice and big, and that's how you can kind of get those outlines. You can change it up a little bit and do even a gradient. So you get this like really cool type, change the weight of your, and then you can even change your font. So if you're looking for something that's going to have that outline and be nice, big, and bold, you do that through word art. Okay. Formatting, that is just your basic formatting. Slides, new slides, duplicate slides, go through and do layouts or work on your transitions. Here's Edit Master again and change theme. All of these things are kind of in a couple different places. Arrange is what Amanda showed you earlier as far as doing some alignment. So if I selected a bunch of things here and I wanted to align everything to the left, I could do it like that. If I wanted to align everything center or in the middle of the page, I could do that. If I wanted to distribute everything vertically so that it's distributed equally, I can do like that. I can rotate things around, flip things around. So if you ever have an image that's not facing the correct direction, you just flip it around, okay? And then grouping, if you want to, move everything together in one piece. Tools. So
will you show them how, if they have separate images, you can just drag over it and it grabs everything?
Separate images or
text? Separate images.
All
or
right.
either, whatever,
Boop. Let me rotate that back around. Hold it. So all the time too, you can come here to format, size and rotation, and I can flip that back around. Okay. So your format options are always here. I can also add a drop shadow. I love a good drop shadow on things. It makes it pop up off the page. It's an addiction. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that. You can do reflection. Woohoo. And even in the reflection, you can change that. Okay, so lots of options. Again, you just kind of have to play around with it if you want it to really be reflected there. Okay, let me turn that off. All right, so what she's talking about, I have word art. Let me show you this other tool that I wanted to show you in combination with word art. Okay, this right here, the Explore tab, is amazing, and it's kind of hidden and people don't realize. So it's underneath your tools, but it's also down here. So when you click on that, you can search through your docs in the web from right here in Google Slides. And when she was talking about how you can have a search and you will get Creative Commons images, then that is what we're talking about here. So I can get web results or I can get images here. I like this one. So I'm going to add it. And it even goes through and tags it with the link to give credit. So if somebody were to click on this, they would see where this came from. All right, I'm going to send this to the back because I want it to be about right here. All right, now if I wanted to group a whole bunch of things together, see my grid lines too help me line things up. All right, if I just drag over like this, it will select everything on my page. If I want to select everything, I can use Control A. If I just want to do a couple of things, if I go like that, it selects both of those items. And I could come here to, where is it? I usually just right click, so I don't remember where it is. Arrange and group. So now these two things are connected. And when I move them around, they stick together. If I want to ungroup them, again, I can right click and then ungroup, and they are back as separate pieces. Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Videos she showed you. Again, keep in mind when you do your videos, you can do a start and stop point, which is beneficial. I like to use Math Antics a lot, but Math Antics, if you've ever heard of them or looked at them on YouTube, they are wordy. And that's a lot coming from me. There's a lot of times I just want them to watch a couple of minutes. And instead of me having to actually figure out how to edit that video, you can do a start and stop time in your videos. And if you want me to show you that, I can. If you want to see that, say yes in the box. And Amanda, you tell me.
I'm going to say yes, but I'm also going to tell you you're at 1 hour and 4 minutes.
I know. I'm sorry. There's lots of things to show.
I know. I'm learning new stuff.
Okay, so here's your video. Fun fact, your videos will play here in Google Slides, and you do not have to navigate outside of it. And it will not pop up in something, and it will not show you all sorts of ads and things of that nature. So it's great. So when you click on your video and you get your format options, and if that doesn't pop up right away, again, click on format options. Notice here's your start and here's your stop. So this is 11 minutes. Let's say I want it to start at 3 minutes and 23 seconds, and I want it to end. I can watch it and figure out exactly where I want it to end at 5 minutes and 51 seconds. When the students, well, that was 9, not 5. 5, 51. Okay. They're only going to get those 2 minutes. I can tell it to autoplay. Okay, I can move it around or whatever. And if I come and I double click here, notice where it starts. It's letting me see. It's going to start right here, and we're not going to be able to watch it because it's trying to load and buffer. But it will start right here, and then it will end at my time. Notice lots of videos have closed captionings available, so you can turn the closed captions on for those specific videos as well. And if you right-click on your video, you can tell it to loop. You can copy, embed codes, and things of that nature.
Will you show them how to add a border around it?
Yeah. Click on it, come up here to where it says border, pick your color. Let's see, let's go with a nice yellow. And then you can put your weight, and there you go. So you don't have to put like a shape and then put it on top of the shape. You can just add a border around it, on it, and that way it saves you another step. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it says if you turn on the closed captioning, it will be there when students see it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And students may have to click on that, but usually if you've set it that way and you're sharing out the presentation with them, it's going to keep your settings. Okay. One thing right here, let's say you have a picture where you want a different background. You can come up here to this and click on the background for this page. And I already copied and pasted a URL from Pixabay. And again, you can pick different images here, but by URL. And if I paste, oh, that goes to the website. Hang on. I was going to show you how to get the image URL. So to get the image URL, if you right click on an image, notice it says copy image address. So instead of copying image, if you just copy the image address and you come back to this and you paste that, it gives you that image, and then done. So this one slide now has an image as its background. And this is one of the free ones that Amanda shared that had where you can go to get copyright free images. And then you have this, but everything else stayed the same. Like I didn't alter my entire presentation that way. And if you want to link items, you can right click and insert a link, okay? Or you can Control K, that is your shortcut. Now notice you can paste to an outside link, but if you click down here, you can link to specific slides. So if you're using this and maybe you're trying to build like an escape room, and if they click on one thing, they go to one link, but if they click on another, they go to the correct place, then that's how you would tell it what slide to go to. So by linking, your first option is usually to go to an external location, but if you click on slides in this presentation, you can tell it where to go. And you can do as many links on one slide as you want to. All right, so and the last little thing that I want to show, if you look at the tools, you've got some, options here. You can voice type your speaker notes. So if you wanted to talk about what you wanted to say instead of having to hand type it, you could. And then add-ons. So add-ons are little programs that work alongside with the specific Google tools, and each one has different add-ons. So you can come through here and see the ones that I have installed, but you can search for other things. And if you want to make them work, then you just, click on it and it enables it into your slides. So if I wanted to do Pear Deck, which creates interactive slides, then I would just open my Pear Deck right here, and I could say I want to draw slide, and it's going to tell me just wait a minute, and what it'll do is it will put the overlay that I need, and then I can tell it the kids anything I want to do, and then when we do a Pear Deck lesson, this becomes an interactive presentation for them. So different add-ons, icons. Unsplash Images is another one to go and get royalty-free images that you don't have to worry about copyright issues. And I think that's it. Unless anybody has questions about things. I know I've gone over.
Can you go back to our slide deck, and I'm going to show them that we put some resources for them?
Yeah. Oh, free slide design. I'm so sorry. So if you want some really cool things that you don't have to create, this is my favorite, Slides Mania. These are tons of free pre-created templates. You click on it, you can come down here and look through it and see, and then you can use it as a PowerPoint, or you can use it as Get Google Slides. Notice when you do, she's done the whole get your template preview thing. So you can use the template like that. There are a couple of other ones that are very similar.
What I did, Heather, was I put a Wakelet at the end that has all of those in it.
Oh, sweet. So Slides Carnival and Slides Go are the same kind of options, and they really are kind of duplicates of each other. Slide support and training. You can do YouTube tutorials. You can go directly to Google Slides. Sorry, Amanda, I'm totally talking over your slide here.
No.
Or you can click and you can go to our Google Wakelet. And in here, you will find lots of resources that we've shared. And as we find more, we add more to it.
So like right now we have like maybe 10 resources,
right.
But you might check back next year, we might have 50. So inside that Google Wakelet, you're going to see different places you can go to get different backgrounds. Like she just showed you Slides Mania. And also on that, go back to the slide deck. For somebody had asked about cheat sheets. If you go, if you go into this training and you slide down, there's like cheat sheets down there. Like, see, there you go, cheat sheets. So you just go to that Google support training link straight from our presentation, and you can go straight, or you could just go support.google. Like I just Googled it.
Yeah. So they've got lots of different things. And then YouTube is always a great tutorial to look up specific things. You're going to find a video. You might find a bunch of really bad ones, but then there'll be like one really great one. And that's about it.
Before I turn it back over to Wiley, I wanted to mention we had, so Heather and I do our own series of webinars, our 2 cents that we are. If you want to learn how to get more interactive, we have a Bitmoji one coming up. However, it's at capacity. We can't accept anymore. But if you'll email me, we'll put our slide up. If you'll email me, we post all of our webinars and presentations on our website. But the GEG Louisiana does have 2 excellent webinars coming up. I know I'm organized in my Google Drive, but I can't wait to see Dr. Alexander talk about fast hacks for using Google.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. So I signed up for that
hacks.
one. And then put it on the next one for me, Heather. I'm sorry, one more. All right, and that's our information. So if you ever want to contact us, all of that is inside the presentation. And like I said, we always post on Twitter, or you can email me or whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, well, it's all you.
And we will then, we will then also include your contact information. And if you want to share the slide deck with me, I'll also include it onto the website as well. Everyone, that was super awesome. A round of applause for Heather and Amanda. Awesome. Awesome. I learned a few things as well, and I've been using Google Slides for years. Yes, yes, yes.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
I just learned about 10 new things from Heather. So,
so I saw some people saying, how do we get to your Wakelet? You can follow us on Wakelet. Mine is an easy one to find because it's the same as my Twitter handle, Tall Techie Teach.
Mine is too. I changed it. Adback 33. ABMACK 33 is my Twitter handle and my Wakelet handle.
There you go. So you can go and follow us, and then that way you can see our public boards. And we try to, as we curate them, and then after our webinars we do make them live so that you can go in and you can see them and copy them, use them, please. If you come across things that you think we want to know about, please share it with me, because I'm always open to learning new things and then being able to share it out with others as well.
Awesome. And you all are welcome to come anytime and do share some knowledge
Fantastic.
and everything. So this was super awesome. It was
Well,
super
yeah,
awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Of
absolutely.
course. I am also going to share some additional things right now for everyone who is still on. I know that Heather and Amanda just shared the, don't do it to me,
Sorry, my
baby.
dogs.
Oh no, it's my slide here. There it is. It's just my
There we go.
internet is the problem. So I know that she just shared that we have, that's okay. Dogs got to be a dog, right? Uh, and so, and so next week on June 2nd, on Tuesday at 12 p.m., we have Sarah Kiefer, who is one of my innovator cohort members. She is awesome. She is going to be sharing about organizing Google Drive. Mine's is a mess, so I'm looking forward to that one. And then, oh my God, my slides are just, then following that, we have a few different people, but it should pop up in just a moment. I may have to escape out and just show it just the good old fashioned way. There she is. All right. And then the following week, we will have a young lady by the name of Nicole Taylor. We will be having, since we're all in this distance learning for state of mind and everything right now, she will be sharing a framework for online learning success. I mean, you will not want to miss it on June 9th at 6 p.m. And then another one that they just shared, which is going to pop up in just a minute, is going to be Dr. Alexander, Dr. Desiree Alexander, who is going to be sharing a variety of hacks for productivity and everything. There it is, fast hacks for using Google for productivity. So she's going to be doing that. You can register on our website for all of those. And I just actually updated this while they were giving you all that great information. So now you can just go to geglouisiana.com. Okay. And what I'm going to do right now is just give you a quick little walk through, a quick tour of it, because it's a growing site. We want your support. So, it's not possible if not for people like Heather and Amanda. We also are looking for additional captains in the different cities across the states to be able to represent. So this is the website. When you scroll down on the front page, you can click on any of these and it'll take you. So there's that one, and it'll take you so that you can register directly for it here. It'll provide all of the links and all of that information. We're updating this calendar that's there. We've got a variety of things. Also, if you want to get involved and actually be able to submit a session, down at the bottom right here, you can just click get involved and it will bring you to the Google form. So whether you want to submit a webinar session, or whether you want to recommend a webinar session, like something that you want to see us cover, or you want to present a webinar, or you want to become a captain for your area, you can submit all of that information there. We're also created, and then someone asked about the recordings. So on the webinars page, when we scroll down, you can see a list of all of the past videos. Okay, so any of the previous recordings will be listed here. So we had, all of these different titles, and more are coming soon. This one will be placed right there. So you can just go to one stop for everything. And then also, now I just did this today. This is going to be good. And Naima, they are Naima. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So it looks like Naima, but other states have Naima. Look, I had it right the first time. See, I know someone named Naima. So someone else. Now I know you, Naima Gooden. So yes, other states do this. Well, they have other GEGs, but not all states do a variety of of a different webinar series. So we're doing this distance learning series for specifically for Louisiana, but it's open to everyone. And so here also on our website, I just embedded into created this resource database from my PD 24/7, and it's actually where, so we were just talking about Google Slides. So on here are a variety of templates, and it's actually able to be filtered. So if you click on by type, no, I'm sorry, by maybe by type, yes, and then scroll down. Let's see if there's a presentation. So there's 430 presentations of Google Slides. And so there are a variety of content areas, a lot of science things here. There are hyperdocs and just a variety of resources. So we are trying to continue to expand the opportunities and the resources that you have at your disposal. So we've got some sessions coming up on hyperdocs. We've got a variety. This is available for anyone. Yes. So if you want to take, so I taught science, right? Okay, that's my background, and so I'll just try this biomes hyperdoc. Okay, so this is some lanyap for everyone. And for those of y'all who don't know what lanyap is, who are from out of the country, out of the state, it's a gift. Okay, it's extra. It's like you order a cheeseburger, but you order a hamburger, but then you get a double cheese. All right. So here is a totally created hyperdoc right here that they could play, get their instruction. They could then be able to provide information about the video that they just saw, so you can assess, and just a variety of things there. I'll let you explore those. And then the last thing that we have here is for those of you whose district don't have a Google for Education account, they're not a G Suite for Education district, or you want to get your own personal one with unlimited storage outside of the district. I know many of us have our Gmails and everything, and those give you up to 15 gigabytes worth of data storage. Well, GEGLouisiana.com is a G Suite for Education, has a G Suite for Education account, and we are making it available to our participants. And so all you have to do, if you want to get an unlimited account outside of your district, now it'll be at GEGLouisiana.com. Okay, so it'll be just say Amanda at GEGLouisiana.com, or Heather at GEGLouisiana.com. And I'll make the form live right after here. I don't know, the form's not popping up, but there is a form there'll be a form that's right beneath this that you can just fill out your information, and it will email you your brand new credentials for your unlimited account with GEGLouisiana.com. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you from the website. It is, we're steadily expanding and getting a variety of new things. Please make sure that you go there, join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join the Google group, follow us on Instagram, and get involved. Okay. Oh, a little more lanyard. Right here, if you want a free, going into this whole distance learning piece, a lot of teachers needed support with, they didn't want to give out their personal number. Okay. And so, Google Voice is an excellent option for that. Okay. Yes, you use it and it was flipping awesome. Okay. And so if you click on that link that I just dropped into the chat, you can put in your name and email address, and then it will send you like a guide for setting it up for Google Voice. Okay. And that is it. Look, again, Heather, Amanda, it was awesome. You guys are welcome back anytime.
Good. You might want to be careful about extending that invite to wordy Heather here.
Anytime.
Thank you.
But look, Heather, we'll make one of them one time. You get the whole show by yourself, the way you get all of the words in that you need.
No, I do want to just say one thing. Somebody had asked about my cursor. my cursor, that's a Google Chrome extension called Custom Cursor. It's free and you can download different ones. And so for the webinars, I've been doing, the bigger like fingers and stuff. But if you go back and you look at the presentation and you look at the little GIF that Amanda has on there about looking at the tools, it's actually a Nimbus 2000 and a golden snitch. So they got a lot of fun stuff. They got Starbucks cups and anyway. So yeah, Custom Cursor, it's free. You can go install it. Anyway, thank y'all so much for coming and listening.
Thanks for having us, Wiley.
Of course. And thank you again. Thank everyone for stopping in on this Saturday afternoon. I'm going to go out and I'm not going to go out, but go out to the kitchen is my out right here and grab myself a nice glass of red wine. So I am going to.
Good idea.
So thank you all. The webinar recording will be on the website probably after it finishes downloading. It'll definitely be on there by tomorrow. So thank you all again for your time. And I can't say thanks enough to both Amanda and Heather. Thank you all so much. Okay. See you all again.
Thanks, bye. See y'all later.